everyone, glad to have you on our main news for today. My name is Idowu Fabajo. The highlights: Ogun State-owned hospitals attend to patients despite Joesu strike. President Buhari assures of safe Nigeria. Mudslides kill 32 people in Ethiopia. Democracy works when people claim it as their own.
Hello, many thanks for joining us on the news tonight. On the business segment of the news, CBN governor monitors sales of foreign currencies. This and many more on the business segment of the news. My name is Kayode Taiwo. I'll see you then.
And on the sports segment of the news, NFF organizes seminar on wealth creation for Super Eagles. I'll see you with this and many more on the sports segment of the news. I am Hakeem Akitunde. You're welcome.
Let's begin with Ogun State Hospitals. Despite the ongoing strike by the Joint Health Sector Union, JOESU, across the country, all Ogun State-owned hospitals and medical centers are open for business and attending to patients. To this end, all citizens and residents of Ogun State that are in need of medical attention should visit any Ogun State-owned hospitals and medical outlets. Tunde Olaniran was at all Ogun State government hospitals in Abeokuta and filing this update.
Health is wealth. It is no news that JOESU is on strike all over the country. But what is news is that Ogun State hospitals and medical centers across the state are working. OGTV news crew visited State Hospital Ijaye, Obademola Maternity Hospital Ijemo, Ogun State Dental Center Ijaye, and Olikoye Ransom Kuti Memorial Hospital Ashero, all in Abeokuta, to see if this is true.
I met a lot of people here down, then they attended to me after those ones, and there are still people around that they will attend to after myself.
In fact, I thought I would have problem queuing up, but thank God, because of the efficiency of the workers, I've been attended to very adequately.
Doctor, what we really have here is this. I'm from Lagos. I came from Lagos to this place. What I really have, because I've been here like 4 times now. This hospital is the best hospital that I've ever seen in my life.
Medical doctors on the ground say they have never ceased attending to patients.
Yes, we always attend to patients. They are coming in, we see them, there's no issues. At least the hospital has made the necessary machinery to make sure that the hospital continues to run 24/7, so everything is perfectly okay.
Well, we have formed partnership with government in ensuring that the place runs very well. There are some other measures that the head of hospital is making to augment those deficiencies, and as you can see, the whole place is running up to 100% or thereabout, or 90%.
Well, the state government has done fantastically well. We had enough backup and support from them. They have given us enough room to adjust things to make sure that healthcare gets to the people of good people of Ogun State.
Heads of all hospitals visited urged residents and citizens of the state to visit the state government hospitals for their Medicare.
Generally, we are open for business. The center is running, and we've had cases. We've been attending to patients as normal. A lot of us have had to assist ourselves and do some other things. But
we are working at Obademola Maternity Hospital, really, because all the head of departments come to the hospital to work. So all the emergency thing can still be done. We are doing the emergency, and we are running our clinics.
Yes, we can assure them that the doctors are covering the hospital 24/7. And as you know, we use our local staff for the other services, but our doctors are on ground 24/7.
Yes, we want to tell people that are out there that think we are not working to know that we are working. People that have health issues can come. If they have emergency, they can come. state hospital is functioning and we are doing our best. So they should come. We will attend to them.
Ogun State government has paid high premium on the health of its citizens. The citizens and residents are to reciprocate this gesture by patronizing the hospitals for their health care. Tunde Lano, OGTV News.
The achievement of the Senator Ibikunle Amosun-led administration in the last 7 years have been described as pride to all Ogun State indigents at home and in the diaspora. This was the position of politicians and members of political parties during breaking a fast with the governor at the government house, Okegbeyin, Abeokuta. Matthew Showmi completes the report.
Recorded by the current administration in the quest to fully implement the manifestos of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun State, a night like this could not but be an opportunity to say thank you to the governor for doing the party proud. One after the other, they expressed appreciation for how the resources of the state have been deployed to meet the yearnings of the people.
Since we have a governor that is leading very well, we have a duty to rally around him. And I'm happy to note that with the congresses that have done, Ogun State is a state without parallel congress. That is exemplary leadership. An unusual person. He's an unusual person.
Come anybody happy. Àbí gómìnà wa ó dáa púpọ̀ púpọ̀ àárín gbogbo iṣẹ́ ribiribi wọ́n ṣe. Ọlọ́run àbá àbúrò sí ilé àṣẹ gómìnà wa ti ń ṣe bàbá bàbá tó gbóyè Ọlọ́run ló tọ́ wọn lọ ṣe Ọlọ́run tó dúró tì wọ́n lọ́kùnrin bàbá lẹ́yìn.
Chairmen of the political parties present gave their opinions on the administration in the last 7 years.
We continue to talk about your secrets because you are our pride, and that is the more reason why all of us, everybody, want to be part of your achievement. One will continue.
Inú wa sì ń dùn àwọn opposition parties lókun state wípé gómìnà wa ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ ribiribi. Ìdí ẹ̀yìn náà tí àwọn náà ṣe ní àdìgbò àwọn tá à ń lọ àyàdúgbò ya support excellency.
Other party chieftains also add their voices.
Ogun State can now today boast of a progressive developmental program in terms of infrastructure and all that makes development in a state. I say this because it is visible. We see it, we hear it, we touch it. And it shows that whoever is coming, whether he likes it or not, will forever follow that line of development. We are pacesetters, and we should remain like that.
Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Suraj Shola Dekumbi, and the Deputy Governor, Chief Mrs. Yetunde Onanuga, say this is a God-choosing time in the state.
God-choosing team, Olawati and Daye affairs, Ogun State lónìí nínú party nínú government.
Ọlọ́run àbá máa ń lọ sílé àṣẹ. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ní bàjẹ́. Orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ń gba olóríwá. Ẹgbẹ́ wa APC á máa lọ sókè ní peace.
Governor Ibikunle Amosun, in his response, however, say there is still a lot of ground to be covered.
We should learn not to take ourselves for granted, and in particular the people of the state for granted. Yes, they love us, but we still must show to them that we are ready, as we have demonstrated in the past 7 years, that we are still ready to continue to show leadership, to continue to assure them that we are ready for governance. We will continue to be ready for governance once they give us their votes.
On the choice of the next governor of the state, he has this to say.
We march towards the 2019, we're going to have our plans. Thank you for all your kind words and the confidence that we are supposed to make. Usually I will hear people say, and I have them to do as well, that whoever that I think for them, yes, thank you, but let me assure you all about the people. Because we will consult widely before we even say, I'm going to challenge all of us, not just our brothers and sisters, particularly our elders from the West. I want to declare them that all of us will have to work together and invite the spirits of give and take.
He finally promised that his administration will continue to listen to good advice from people of the state and from major stakeholders to effectively fulfill the mission to rebuild the agenda of his administration.
Ogun State Executive Council has celebrated one of them, Director General of Bureau of Lands and Survey, B. Ismail, as it marks his birthday. Governor Ibikunle Amosun led the State Executive Council to honor him, which is a routine to recognize each member of the Mission to Rebuild team on occasion like this.
Looking at the development on the state, which I can tell you, the modern day Ogun State, from what it used to be before the last 8 years, Ogun State has been transformed, and I'm elated. I feel a part of a greater achievement, because the next 30 years, I want to see what will change from what it is today. Because if you look at today's development in Ogun State based on the infrastructure, if His Excellency has not put in time to develop the roads, for example, even if he has built beautiful schools, hospitals, without good road network, how do you want to get people there? Even for when you talk of the culture, which is sightseeing and tourism, without good road network, you can't talk about it. It's even difficult to get people to those sites. So with the way it is, taking a bold step to look at the road networks opens us to all the possibilities. Even if you have to build the best airport in the world and you don't have a good road network to the best network, then it makes no sense for somebody to come. And there are places that you could get to in Abeokuta today or within the capital, because look at every development worldwide. No development starts from the outskirts. The design starts from the middle, which is the capital, and it spreads out. If you look at DC today, it's a network from the middle all the way. Go to France, go to Germany, it's the same. So for me, on my birthday today, I feel happy to be part of this great team, and I know this team will be remembered for many years to go. And my kids and children's children will come and say, my dad was part of that team.
Affordable housing scheme, urban renewal, and a conducive environment are some of the key programs of the current administration in Ogun State. 7 years down the lane, the sectors have become points of reference for people of the state. So the sector having also created an ambience that have attracted a sizable number of investors to the Gateway State. Benga Adekoya reports on the achievements of the state government in these sectors under the current administration in the state. His report.
Adequate shelter is one of the basic human needs across ages, and it remains important to human existence. This has led to the provision of various housing estates for the people of the state by the current administration. The projects are affordable and accessible for civil servants, while members of the public are not left out, ranging from Orange Valley Estate, HID Awolowo Estate, New Mako City in Shagamu, President Muhammad Buhari Estate, AAK Degu Workers Estate, to mention just a few. These estates have all been serving their purposes.
Among the estates of the civil servants in Ogun, to have the opportunity to be allotted houses in that estate, which is the legacy of His Excellency Senator Ibikunle Amosun FCA, to the first gated estate, for people of our category, so far in Ogun State, I think it's enough for us to show appreciation.
The State Ministry of Urban and Physical Planning keyed into the vision of the Senator Ibikole Amosun-led administration with urban renewal policies by proper coordination of physical development in the state.
The minute we started our infrastructural renewal effort, we took charge of the Ogun Standard roads. Therefore, we have guidelines regarding development along those roads. We also process and approve private layout development. This again is with respect to developers across the state who want to create private estates. So it is our responsibility to approve those plans as well as the schemes relating to such estates.
Build Right and other programs of the State Ministry of Urban and Physical Planning have also changed the face of the Gateway State infrastructurally.
We also produced the development plan in support of the new Abeokuta City Center. You've seen the level of developmental work ongoing in there, where we plan to have a modern day arena to support most of the initiatives.
Apart from the monthly environmental sanitation exercise, the State Ministry of Environment in the last 7 years has complemented the infrastructural drive of the state government in all ramifications by creating a better living and working environment for the entire people of the state.
With reference to the rebuilding mission of His Excellency Senator Ibikole Amosun on FSCA, we have been doing quite a lot in terms of maintaining, protecting, and developing the environment. Starting with the issue of waste management, this administration has taken seriously the issue of waste management. At some point, you would recall that His Excellency himself was directly involved.
Waste being generated in the state will also be turned to energy very soon.
On behalf of the ministry, feasibility studies around waste to energy. Waste to energy is such that conversion of our waste to generate power, electricity. So we did that 2017. We conducted feasibility study, and we have the report has since been submitted, and the report shows that the characterization of our waste is such that it's very rich in converting into power.
The Ogun State Property and Investment Corporation, with development of residential, commercial and industrial real estate hubs and new cities, has also been contributing immensely to the rebuilding mission slogan of the current administration.
As you are aware, urban renewal and affordable housing are critical pillars, one of the cardinal programs of this particular administration, and indeed it's something that we have won so many awards for as a state. But one of the challenges we discovered is that for a lot of people, affordability is a challenge. We call it the affordability gap, meaning I want to buy it, I can over a period of time pay for it, but to pay the cash today, I don't have. So what we've done is to enter into a partnership with the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Corporation called the NMRC. People that want to buy this scheme now will actually go and take a mortgage from any of the 4 banks that partnered with us, which are Gateway Mortgage Bank, which is our own, Trust Bond, Imperial Homes, Home Base Mortgage Bank. You partner with any one of those 4 mortgage banks. You pay 20% deposit with them. You start paying on a monthly basis.
They are the brain behind Orange Valley Estate, MTR Gardens, New Makun City, Opik Agbara Igbesa Estate, New Dawn Opik Plaza, among others. Benga Adekoya, OGTV News.
You're watching OGTV Main News, and coming up, President Buhari promises security and prosperous Nigeria. We will bring you the details in a moment. Do stay with us.
It's up to us, all of us. The safety of our communities is in our hands. The police need our help and support. Boko Haram threatens our lives, our future, our country. But Nigeria belongs to us. God has blessed us with this rich land. Let us protect her as we protect each other. Report any criminal activity. Call these numbers. Your call is anonymous, and it is vitally important. Your support so far has been critical. Continuing it will make all the difference between a Nigeria of the fearful and a Nigeria of the free. Protect each other, for we are not terrorists. We are Nigerians. A message from the State Security Service.
You're welcome back. The Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, has directed that the commissioning of projects earlier scheduled to take place on Tuesday, 29th of May 2018 for commemoration of the third anniversary of the second term of the administration be postponed till the last week of June, when the Ramadan fast would have been over. This is in deference to Islamic faithful who are currently observing Ramadan fast across the country. The Ogun State government would have, on Democracy Day, the 29th of May, commissioned some of the over 50 new projects spread across the 3 geopolitical zones of the state, but for the ongoing Ramadan fast. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Idowu Fabajo, appreciates Ogun stakeholders for their tremendous support and prayers over the years, which have been largely responsible for the massive turnaround of the fortunes of the state, just as he urges them not to relent, promising that the Ogun project remains work in progress. President Muhammadu Buhari has assured Nigerians that under his administration, the country will witness more progress, prosperity, and greater security. The president gave the assurance while speaking at the 2019 Democracy Lecture to commemorate 19 years of undisrupted democratic rule in Nigeria.
Governance. We have not allowed ourselves to be overawed by the existence of challenges. Weak governance is in inequality and unequal development, resulting in social disruption and political unrest with negative impacts on growth and development.
The immediate past chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Atahiru Jega, was the guest speaker at the occasion, said Nigerians must strive to maintain internal security as the rule of law is the foundation to sustainable peace and development.
The more developed we are likely to be, and the more we will be able in the future to also honor our international commitments and obligations to our neighbors and to the rest of you.
The leadership of local council development area in Ogun State have been challenged to intensify their support to the state government towards meaningful development at the grassroots level. Ogun State Deputy Governor Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga stated this at the commissioning of boreholes at Ofada Mokoloki LCDA in Mowe. Elizabeth Esson reports.
Is one of the essential needs in any community. This informed the commissioning of boreholes in 4 communities in Ofada Mokoloki Local Council Development Area of Ogun State under the chairmanship of Alhaja Kudirat Balogun. In a speech at the commissioning, Ogun State Deputy Governor Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Rural Development, Reverend Bele Olugbebi, commends the initiative of the SCDA for supporting the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun in achieving notable developments in the state.
I want to see you people take good advantage of it. I know that what we are doing today is a demonstration of cooperation. But please, Her Excellency the Deputy Governor, who is the one monitoring the workings of the CSA, would like to see greater cooperation, greater synergy built between the executive and the CSA. We are watching, we are monitoring, but we do not need to shout. I know that because you people are visionary people, please, let's see the synergy between the two entities lift our Father Mokoloki to greater heights.
Welcoming guests to the commissioning, the chairman of Father Mokoloki Local Council Development Area Mowi thanked the Ogun State government for the massive infrastructure developments being enjoyed in the community.
On this note, I'm indeed grateful to our visionary and pragmatic leader, the Executive Governor of the state, His Excellency Senator Idowu Fabajo, CON FCA, for the unique opportunity given to me and team to see the pioneership of this SVD. Together, we shall rebuild and take our dear Ogun State to a very good height of human and infrastructural development.
Royal fathers and community leaders in their goodwill messages appreciated the kind gesture and used the opportunity to ask for more social amenities such as rural roads and electrification from the state government. The boreholes were commissioned in Orimerumu in Bakuro Ward, Shote in Ibafo Ward, Okeafa in Magboro Arepo, and Olorundalukosi in Mokoloki Ward, all in Ofada Mokoloki Local Council Development Area of the state. Ofada Mokoloki SCDA is one of the 37 SCDAs created 12 months ago in Ogun State to bring governance closer to the people at the grassroots, and these boreholes add to other amenities like graded roads in other parts of the community. For OGTV News, Elizabeth Esson reporting.
Communities within Ogun State have been charged to focus more on projects that will foster learning among students and the community. This charge was given by Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, Honorable Benga Adilmoshon, at this year's Quiz Community Development Committee Ogijo Shagamu South Local Government Area of the state. The quiz competition had categories ranging from primary to senior secondary school. Ololade Omosoyin has the details.
According to Dr. Nelson Mandela, in any society, the most powerful weapon capable of institutionalizing peace, harmony, justice and development is education, which is why Area Community Development Committee Ogijo Ogun State has decided to look into the education sector in the community.
The competition, activities is maybe we have meeting, look at how we can develop, our community and things of that nature. And we felt we should be creative to look at what can we do that will affect the life of these, children. That was how we came about the idea of quiz competition.
The quiz competition featured shortlisted students from both private and public schools. The royal father of the day, Olokijo of Ogijo, Oba Kazim Olaonipekun, charges parents to be more committed to training of their wards.
The parents have a lot of role to play in the areas of educating their children. That the economic circumstances are a bit hard, but they also need to make sure that they provide for these young kids what they need in order to further their education. They also need to come together as a community to support the various schools so that we can create a conducive education environment for these children.
Appreciating the kind gestures of the community, the Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, Honorable Benga Ademosho, assures that the competition of such will be extended to all communities in the state.
I am happy that New Glory has actually done a very wonderful job. We want to make a kind of inter-area citizen competition such that it's not going to be in this area alone that we'll be doing it. It will be across the state.
Gifts and cash prizes were awarded to winners of each categories. Ololade Omosoyin, OGTV News.
The Oshile Okiono Egba Oba Dr. Adedapo Adewale Tejo Show has been honored with a musical concert celebration in celebration of his 80th birthday anniversary by the proprietors of Lawson Group of Schools, Idowu Fabajo Lawson. The event, which had various performances from students of Lawson Group of Schools, also had the presence of dignitaries, including Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Suraj Ishola Adekunbi, who came to felicitate with the monarch at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta. Yusuf Gani reports.
According to a biblical injunction, it is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord and to sing praises unto his name. For this reason, Lawson's Group of Schools put together this musical concert to celebrate the 80th birthday anniversary of Oba Dr. Adedapo Adewale Tejuosho, the Oshile of Okeono-Egba. Various performances of students of Lawson's Group of Schools and the Afro Juju crooner Sashina Peters added color to the event. To the dignitaries, especially the proprietor Lawson's Group of Schools, Idowu Fabajo Lawson, celebrating the monarch is to wish him many more years on earth, adding that the school will continue to promote the cause of children.
Oba Dr. Adedapo Adewale Tejuosho, a father, a royal king, an evangelist, a medical doctor of repute, and above all, a philanthropist.
You could see the high level of talents displayed by the children here, and we can only pray that God Almighty grants our dear Kabiyesi long life.
Dr. Adedapo Adewale Tejuosho. We want to appreciate the fact that our foremost educationist, Idowu Fabajo Lawson, did this for him too.
I feel extremely great. Kabiyesi has been a very God-fearing man, and also he is one of our parents. We have to celebrate him.
Dr. Adedapo Tejuosho, Oshile of Okeono-Egba, reflects on the honor done him.
Good grace of God, it shall be well with all of us. The children who have put up all these performances have done excellently well.
Yusuf Gani, OGTV News.
Parents have been urged to lay a good foundation for their children and wards with good moral, parental care, and investment on their education. These were the words of the Managing Director, Superfoods, Mrs. Folashade Ajose, in its monthly children's party held to commemorate Children's Day celebration. Details of the report are presented in this package.
To a 2-in-1 celebration as Superfoods hosts kids and school pupils at this month's children's party in commemoration of the Children's Day celebration. The colorful ceremony, which was filled with funfair, provided the avenue for the children to participate in quiz competition, dance, aerobic display, cultural dance, debate, various games, among others. The Managing Director of Superfoods, Mrs. Folashade Ajose, appreciated parents for bringing their children and however urged children to face their studies and ensure to help their parents in household chores.
I'm very happy to the children. I'm very happy for the parents that take their time. Even some of them that they are in the office, they've dropped their children since morning. My advice to the children is to be hardworking, to be good children to their parents, to always do well in school. The next one is going to be wonderful.
Parents and children had this to say.
It was fun. At first I was reluctant to come, but getting here, it was all fun all through.
I feel happy, enjoying myself. Thank you, Superfoods.
Mrs. Folashade Ajose urged the people to look out for next month's edition of the Children's Party, which promises to be fulfilling.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, says the Nigerian Air Force will remain committed to providing adequate training and improved professionalism as to meet the security expectations of Nigerians. He stated this while inaugurating the Nigerian Air Force Institute of Safety in Kaduna. The Nigerian Air Force Institute of Safety was established to provide training on all forms of safety for armed forces and paramilitary agencies. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, said resources are being expanded to improve on personal welfare and training to meet the heightened security needs of the country.
But indeed, all other activities, even at home, you have hazards, domestic hazards, and the whole essence of having this institute is to train our personnel particularly, and personnel of other services, as well as other government institutions.
We are aware that to whom much is given, much more is expected. We will double our efforts to justify the confidence you have reposed in us.
Guest of honor, Air Vice Marshal Mohammed Audu Bida, commended the Nigerian Air Force for maintaining its fleet of aircraft and efforts towards combat security challenges in the country. The 2018 NITAD Fellows Investiture put together by the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development holds on Tuesday, 29th of May 2018 at 10 in the morning. Venue is Sheraton Hotel and Towers, Mobolaji Bank, Anthony Way, Ikeja, Lagos. The guest speaker is Mrs. Bamidele Akinyemi, who will be speaking on leadership development, a tool for driving business results. Up next is business news.
Hello and welcome to business segment of the news. The Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, said that between 2016 and 2017, the federal government was able to save the sum of 125 billion naira through reduction in travel allowances, sitting allowances, and other recurrent expenditure such as office stationery. She said the amount was saved through the activities of the efficiency unit, which was set up by the ministry to reduce the cost of governance. The unit had issued circulars to ministries, departments, and agencies of government advising them to take advantage of the quantities discount of between 5% and 50% when booking for air tickets. This is expected to reduce the amount spent on overhead by the government. Giving a breakdown of the amount, the minister stated that the sum of 91 billion was saved from reduction in travel allowances between 2016 and 2017, while the balance of 34 billion naira was saved from office stationeries. The governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has visited 3 banks in Abuja to inspect sales of foreign currencies to customers. He said that the visit was to ascertain banks' compliance with the new directive by the CBN to sell foreign currencies to all customers over the counter, whether the customer had an account or not. Mr. Emefiele used the opportunity to let everybody know that there is dollar availability. Emefiele said that all the banks were well stocked and whoever wants to make foreign exchange transaction should look for the BTA PTA counter or Bureau de Change located in all bank branches. He also said that all banks were expected to display daily foreign exchange rates for major currencies so that the customer will be aware of how much he or she is paying. With almost $48 billion in the country reserves, Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has threatened to sanction banks and review operating licenses of bureau de change that fail to sell foreign exchange to traveling customers on demand. CBN's acting director, corporate communications, Isaac Okorafor, said in Abuja that possession of relevant valid travel documents such as visa and ticket are sufficient for immediate over-the-counter transactions. In a statement titled "Sales of Foreign Exchange to Travelers Over the Counter," Okorafor said in order to ensure that eligible travelers are able to access forex and make liquidity available in the market, the Apex Bank added that compliance was compulsory for all banks and bureau de change. In another development, the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria rejected Central Bank of Nigeria's directive mandating bureau de change to make their forex bidding and purchases on weekly basis. There were panic selling in all the Nigerian stock market at the weekend as 5 consecutive losses unnerved investors and threw the equities market into its lowest momentum in recent times. All week decline threw the bears all out and exacerbated the muted slowdown that had marked share pricing in recent week. Losses amounted to 1.31 trillion at the weekend in 3 months consecutive decline that started in March, with the weekend's panic underlying the growing anxieties with this month after 2 earnings seasons failed to rekindle the rally at the Nigeria equities market. Nigeria's equity had lost 557 billion naira in March, showed restraint with a modest loss of 44 billion naira in April, but turned worse this month with a net capital loss of 705 billion naira. Quoted equities lost 406 million naira last week, equivalent to an average decline of 2.84% for the 5-day trading week, more than half of the 4.72% decline recorded so far this month. Most quoted equities now carry the minus signs, indicating unmatched share supply and a full-blown buyer's market. There were nearly 4 losers for every gainer in the last trading session at the weekend as bargain hunter took advantages of share glut to underpriced stocks. With macroeconomic fundamentals and crude oil price on the rise, most analysts were hesitant about the underlying trigger for the rush for exit, but were unanimous that bandwagon effect had played on later day sellers. In anticipation of a further moderation in rates at auctions that will be held this week, dealers say they expect the secondary market to remain more attractive to investors. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) is scheduled to repay 92.2 billion naira maturing treasury bills and only roll over 49.6 billion naira in line with the federal government of Nigeria's debt strategy to reduce domestic borrowings. Investment bankers anticipate more open market operation issuances as inflows from Wednesday maturing May 28 bond of 300 billion naira as well as 176.3 open market operation and 99.2 billion treasury bills maturity hit the system. The treasury bills market traded on a relatively flat notes as the CBN mopped up liquidity via open market operations and retail foreign exchange interventions in the interbank markets. That's the business news tonight. Back to Idowu.
You're welcome. Away from the shores of the country now, landslides caused by heavy rain have killed at least 32 people in southern Ethiopia over the weekend. The government said on Monday. The Government Communication Affairs Office said 9 people died in the Gamugova zone with 17 injured. The state-affiliated Fana Broadcast Corporate reported that 23 people were killed in a landslide in the Sidama zone. 6 people were badly injured. Countries across the Horn of Africa have recently struggled to cope with heavy rains. Last week, flooding and strong winds caused by Cyclone Saga killed at least 25 people in Djibouti and Somaliland, while heavy flooding left 21 dead in Somalia, according to the UN's humanitarian coordinator. Still on the foreign scene, in a rare move, Italy is mired in fresh political turmoil, with the president facing impeachment calls after he voted a choice for finance minister. In a rare move, President Sergio Mattarella said he could not appoint the Eurosceptic Paolo Savona, citing concerns by investors. The decision ended a bid by Italy's 2 populist parties to form a coalition. Mr. Mattarella may now appoint a stopgap prime minister, with early elections looking increasingly likely. He has summoned Carlo Cottarella, a former executive director of the International Monetary Fund, who could form an interim administration. Italy, the Eurozone's 4th biggest economy, has been without a government since elections in March because no political group can form a majority. It's time for some sporting stories with Akim Akitunde.
Welcome to the sports segment of the news. The leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation has concluded arrangements for a seminar on wealth creation, investment and portfolio management for players and officials of the senior national football team, the Super Eagles. The NFF second vice president and chairman of strategy committee, Malam Shehu Diko, said the seminar, which will see leading voices in the private sector who are partners of the NFF delivering papers, will take place at the Transcorp Hilton. The Super Eagles delegation is set to fly out of Port Harcourt to Abuja on Tuesday morning, and the Nigeria Football Federation has informed the players and officials about the seminar, which will hold between 1:45 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. The Super Eagles of Nigeria Monday played a 1-1 draw with the Congo Democratic Republic. The match, one of the friendliest lined up for the Eagles ahead of the 2018 World Cup in Russia, saw Nigeria scoring in the first half, while the Congolese drew level late in the second half via a penalty. Next up for the Eagles. Next up for the Eagles ahead of the World Cup is another friendly with England at Wembley on the 2nd of June. Meanwhile, Super Eagles coach Jonas Roy has revealed that Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper Kali Keme will be part of the Nigeria squad at the 2018 World Cup, but as the unregistered 24th player. Nigeria have included an extra player on their roster in previous editions of the World Cup, with Clement Westerhoff and Festus Onigbide taking Tijani Babangida and Peter Dewege to USA 94 and Korea-Japan 2002 respectively. Ikeme, who is recovering from illness, played in the second round of the African World Cup qualifiers against Swaziland and was in between the sticks when Nigeria beat Zambia away in the first game of the third round.
Back home, All Stars FC of Abeokuta have emerged the champions of the 2018 Ogun State Federation Cup. All Stars defeated Remo Stars Feeders 7-6 on penalties after coming from a goal down to a level tie 1-1. After scoring 4-4 penalties each, the shootout went into sudden death. All Stars goalkeeper Rashid Aremu was the hero, saving 2 Remo Stars Feeders kicks. It will be the first time the All-Stars team, a group made up mainly of retired players, will be winning the Federation Cup anywhere in Nigeria. Real Madrid might have won a 15th European Cup, but they have been overtaken by rivals. And La Liga victors Barcelona as the continent's top club according to new data in Euroclub Index compiled by sports data company Grace Notes. Liverpool, who were beaten by Real in Saturday's Champions League final, move up 8 places to 11th. Premier League champions Manchester City are England's highest ranked side at number 3, with Tottenham in 9th and Manchester United in 10th. The rankings are produced from results over the past 4 seasons, but the most recent campaign carries a weight of about 2/3. Thanks for watching. That was Sports Update. We'll return again tomorrow with a fresh package. Back to Idowu for the rest of the bulletin.
The remains of Chief Francis Musumola Durojayi have been laid to rest with a call on Christians to be faithful in their deeds and be mindful of their place of rest. To the Provost Cathedral Church of St. Matthew, Ojowo, Ijebu-Igbo, Ogun State, Very Reverend Ademola Adedayo gave the charge at the burial service held for the deceased. Elizabeth Esson has the details.
The end of anything is better than the beginning thereof. This verse from the Bible is evident in the life of late Chief Francis Musumola Durojayi, as family, friends and relations gathered to pay him their last respect. In his sermon, the Provost of the Cathedral of St. Matthew, Ojowo, Ijebu-Igbo, Very Reverend Ademola Adedayo, enjoins Christians to make godliness and faithfulness their watchword during their lifetime, as this will speak for them here on earth and before God on the day of judgment.
You have shown godliness and faithfulness over all.
The children were joined by friends and well-wishers for Thanksgiving as prayers were offered for the repose of the soul of the deceased and for God's protection over the family left behind. The remains of late Chief Francis Musumola Durojayi were later committed to Mother Earth at his residence, where the dust-to-dust rites were performed by children and family members. Some of the children, grandchildren, brother and well-wisher have this to say about the deceased.
Father is my teacher, my mentor, my first employer, and my friend. He's been a wonderful man to me. And
qualities, his sense of humor, his warmness, and his love for the family.
Àwọn pọ̀ tí mi tiẹ̀ lè sọ mi tiẹ̀ lè sọ pé nǹkan báyìí mo lè miss nípa wọn ọ̀sán wà kíárìn wọ́n dẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi.
Very jovial to the core, very lively, accommodating. In a nutshell, not a dull moment with my grandpa.
Guests were thereafter treated to a reception at the Istamosta Hall, Dekpolu in Ijebu-Igbo. Born on the 2nd day of October 1927 to the family of late Chief Benjamin Oshibanjo and Dorcas Ibiriola Durojayi, late Chief Francis Musumola Durojayi, elder brother to Senator B. Durojayi, bid the world farewell on Tuesday, 8 May 2018 at the age of 90.
We shall now serve you the weather forecast for Tuesday. Democracy works when people claim it as their own. And just before we go on the news, let's quickly remind you of our top stories. Ogun State-owned hospital continues. Ogun State-owned hospitals continue to attend to patients despite USU strike. President Muhammadu Buhari has assured of safe and prosperous Nigeria. The governor of Central Bank of Nigeria has monitored sales of foreign currencies in Abuja. Mudslides caused by heavy rainfall killed 32 people in Ethiopia. The Nigeria Football Federation has organized seminar on wealth creation for the Super Eagles. And that's all we have for you on our menus for today. Many thanks to you for watching. Do have a wonderful night rest. Good night.